Hello folks, my name is Carl and welcome back to the channel. So anyone that's prepared to tell you the truth will let you know that the Canadian job market is absolutely tough right now. Okay, people are applying to hundreds of jobs and getting no response at all. Some apply for months, some apply for 6 months, a year, or even more, and nothing. And this is not just talk, it's actually real. If you go on forums, you'll find people sharing their stories. Some will tell you that you have applied for 200 jobs, no interviews. Others will say I've applied for 600 jobs or even 800 jobs and maybe got only 6 interviews. And some will also let you know that if they've submitted maybe 400 applications and 0 interviews. So this is actually real. Now, if you are going to be applying for jobs in Canada, looking at all this, you don't just jump on the bandwagon and just start shooting out applications, hoping something sticks, because the data is clear that this approach is not working anymore and it's failing. So if you're going to be applying for jobs, if you're looking for jobs in Canada, if you want to hear from employers, if you want your applications to actually get seen, then I'm saying you have to apply properly. If you're applying for jobs, you have to do it properly. Here's what's really happening. Canada's job market is not necessarily collapsing, but it has actually become more competitive. Unemployment has increased. If you look at the data from 2025, unemployment was forecasted to increase to about 7%. That was in 2025. And experts are saying that it seems to be on the increase. So unemployment has increased not because jobs have disappeared, but because there are more people competing for the same roles. So at the same time, the job postings are flat, hiring is now cautious, and employers are selective. So the problem is not just the job market. The problem is you are competing harder with the same strategy. So you're competing with a lot more people. That competition is much harder. Another problem is you are using the same strategy. And this is where most people lose, because if you're not getting responses, apart from the job market problem that we've talked about, another key problem is that your resume might actually be the problem. Okay, it's not your experience, it's not your qualifications, your resume. Now, most resumes are too generic, okay? And in today's market, generic means invisible. If your resume is generic, it's gonna get lost in that pile, okay? Looking for a job right now is like finding a needle in a haystack in Canada, literally. Okay, so it's tough. And if you're gonna be using generic resumes to apply for these jobs, guess what? It's gonna get lost in the mix, okay? So employers are no longer desperate to hire. In my last video, I said it's an employer's market. So they are no longer desperate to hire. They have an abundance of options, okay? And if I were to profess a scenario, I would say if you had an abundance of options, if you're a car guy and you have an abundance of options in cars that you could choose from, you're gonna take your time, you're gonna filter out. So that's what the employers are doing now. They are filtering. And back then you could get away with it. You could get away with a generic resume, an average resume, basic experience, you're mass applying. Back in 2020, you could get away with that in Canada because it was an employee's market back then. Okay, remember back then when people were receiving multiple offers for jobs and they could pick and choose? Well, that honeymoon is over. So now employers are the ones choosing and they are not even searching. So like I said, if you're applying for jobs in Canada, whether you're already in Canada or you are applying from outside Canada, make sure that your resume stands out and do not give employers the ammunition to shoot you down. For example, in resumes, people are still writing, I was responsible for this, I worked on that. This tells them nothing, okay? So that resume needs to be upgraded. Your resume should not necessarily describe your job. It should not only do just that, it should sell your impact. So your resume, when it's being looked at, should clearly state the impacts you had at your previous jobs. Another mistake many people make here is that they do not tailor their resumes to their job application. Okay, they apply to 100 jobs, none of them are aligned to that resume. They have a resume that says they are an admin person and they are using that same resume to apply for customer service jobs, to apply for admin jobs, to apply for coordinator roles, to apply for anything that is remotely similar to what their resume is talking about. that is not tailoring. Okay, you have to sit down and tailor your resume. And the reason why I'm highlighting this is because we have to look at the reality. Okay, applications have increased significantly in 2026. It means that each job gets flooded. Okay, if you go onto those websites like LinkedIn or Indeed, that would give you an estimate of the number of applicants that have submitted the applications for a specific job. You would see what I'm saying here. Okay, you find out a job is posted, in a few hours they have close to 100, 200, 300 applicants in a few hours. Okay, and you're going to be part of those people, and you have to stand out. So you have to do things differently, because you're not competing against 10 people, you're competing against 100 plus. Sometimes literally you're competing against 1,000 people. Now, there are others that say that they've tailored their resumes, but they have not been seeing any results. Okay, people say, I've tailored my resume, I'm still struggling, I spend the time tailoring it, still no results. The reason is that tailoring is not just keywords. It's also about positioning, because there are people that are going to say, oh, I tailored my resume, and you find out they only grabbed some keywords from the job description and put it on the resume. Now, let's also talk about the market shift, okay? Because this is what many people don't necessarily understand. The market itself has changed. There is a shift to essential roles. So growth is happening, but in some specific areas, such as healthcare, such as social services, such as skilled trades, and not necessarily the general roles that we are expecting. And another thing that you should always keep in mind is that entry level is harder. Youth unemployment is high, and new grads are struggling. Okay, so keep that in mind, that even the entry level jobs or entry level roles are harder to get in this market. Now, because of that, the entry level roles themselves are shrinking, and some of them are being automated. Okay, with the emergence of AI and all of that. Another problem many people face is using the wrong format. And I've said this many times on this channel, that if your resume is hard to read, that alone is enough for you to lose your job. You need to use the right format for the resume, okay? Because employers do not have the time to read all the pages of a resume. They are going to scan it, okay, very quickly. And I'm going to talk about the ATS systems. So make sure that it is formatted properly, because you have about 6 to 10 seconds to impress an employer. That's if your resume actually gets before them. You have about 6 to 10 seconds to impress them. Okay, so you need to format your resume properly. Now, another thing that I'm going to highlight right here is resume positioning. Okay, because this is where you get to dominate. Most resumes are just lists. Okay, but employers are not really hiring lists. They are hiring solutions. So if your resume does not solve a problem, it gets ignored. Okay, many people have a resume that's just listing that. No, let it actually solve a problem. Let it speak to a problem and solve that problem. Okay, because if you don't do that, your resume is likely to get ignored. And that is why many people say that, you know, I'm qualified, but I'm not getting interviews, because guess what? Qualification is not equal to positioning. You need to learn how to position yourself in the job market. Now, let's talk about some hidden problems as well. And one of the problems that we cannot skip is the Canadian experience. It's still there. There's nothing we can do about it. We cannot pretend that it's not there. So if you are applying for jobs, yes, you may have to face that hurdle where employers might be looking out for whether you have some Canadian experience. If you're applying from outside Canada, that may not necessarily apply, because employers know that they are, you know, and they are willing to bring in people from outside Canada, so that may not necessarily count. But if you're in Canada and you're applying for jobs, most times employers are going to be looking for someone with Canadian experience. They might not state it clearly in the job description, but it is one of those hidden things that may impact your job search. Now, another hidden problem is being overqualified or underqualified. But in terms of immigrants, I have seen that most immigrants actually struggle with being overqualified. So many of them are too qualified for entry roles, and they are not local enough for higher roles. So this is where the Canadian experience might also impact them. Okay, and that's one of the hurdles that unfortunately you may have to face. Another thing is mass applying. Okay, it's one of those hidden problems. If you are mass applying, if the more you apply blindly, the worse your results. because more applications does not equal to more success. Better applications do. Keep that in mind. So let me be honest, the market is not forgiving. This time, the job market is not forgiving at all. Okay, you can apply for months and get nothing, not because you are not good enough, not because you don't have the necessary qualifications. It's just because you're not positioned properly. So at this point, my advice would be that most people do not necessarily need to apply for more jobs or send out more applications. They just need to fix what they're sending out. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to be talking more about that in my next videos. So if you want me to review your resume or help you to rewrite it properly, you can get started using the link in the description below. I'll look at your situation and tell you exactly what needs to change for a small fee. So in my next video, I'll show you what a strong Canadian resume actually looks like. I have made a video on how to write a Canadian style resume. I think I uploaded that video somewhere last year, and that video is going to pop up on your screen at the end of this video, so you can check out that video as well. We're just going to revise that and see what else we can improve. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We are now at about 8,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for all those who have subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for helping to grow the channel. I'm just pleading that you help push the channel to 10K subscribers. So if you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.